Hello and welcome back, guys. So we're going to talk about how to code deployment activity. So don't waste time, just to start quickly. What are the things we have to do for as a deployment? So for deployment, what we have three component. We have to code for our pre-checks, means our backup, then followed by the same way we have for the post check. The major part where we have going to concentrate for implementation part, what we going to implement, we have to plan for the implementation part. So here we going to break this our coding. The first part we have backup, that we going to cover. Backup we're going to cover by the pre and post checks. That's another code we have to do. Later on we're going to merge the implementation part as well as backup part. So backup going to be constant. We're going to use the inventory part. How they're going to take each inventory separate backup. Okay, now come to the implementation part. We have to use the iOS config module, as we are using the iOS command module for the backup. We will see, while we are writing the code, you will see how we're going to use the iOS command module for the backup. iOS config module going to use for our implementation. Why this command bring up in the config terminal? Okay, now after that, what we going to give? Suppose we're going to select it today for the smaller implementation. We're going to change the host name according to our inventory. So what we going to follow? Our Jinja template, and we will pass our the host name according to inventory. We have to take care what is the my inventory. If your inventory is not proper, by syntax wise is going to give you error. Okay, now last one, we have to write memory, means whatever the change we have done, that we have to save into the NVRAM. For that we have module called save WAN. What is called? So not module, this is called attribute. Under the this module, this is the key attribute where you have to pass your value. That is nothing, that is modified. Whenever it's a modified, just go for this. Is the two keyword. This configuration deployment can be done by the key is called line. So we have line key, we have save when key, and another key that is called parent, followed by the lines. When we supposed to use, if we have two layer of hierarchy configuration, like we are using for OSPF router, OSPF 100, then we follow their child configuration. So in that scenario, we're going to use the parent followed by the line. If we use this set, then if you want to pass any configuration, one-liner configuration like NTP configuration or any syslog configuration or any other configuration, so you have to go for the before is a keyword, key value, which you're going to pass with your. So this is the deployment. Let's do enough of talking. Let's do and understand this. By doing, we're going to understand. So we are here. So let's check our routers are pingable from my inventory R1. We have to check this. Yes, these are the pingable, so we can code easily. For that, you can check your DNS inventory also. Okay, so how do you check in DNS inventory? I'm going to extend this one. Check the cat. We have hosts, and that's going to give me, yes, this IP we have with the R1 R2, and we're going to check the another inventory for Ansible. So we're going to check the Ansible hosts. We have Ansible host over here, R1, R2, R3 also, and that inventory, DNS inventory. So we can use this. That's all. So we can start our coding. Let's Sublime Text. I'm going to open this file over here. Okay, so this is the code what we have to test over here for deployment activity. This is the most basic code. Here you have to inventory code. So what is my going to be inventory here? I want R1, R2, R3. So I'm going to keep RX. You can see here RX. So let's understand this code what we have written here code. So we have triple dash, we're going to start my play, triple dot, we're going to stop my play. Okay, then follow the name test for the deployment activity. Then we're going to call my host name and gather facts. We already discussed connection type. Here either we have defined the variable, because otherwise it's going to give you the error, because we are not using any inventory file connected to this code. So you have to define here no explicit inventory file. Okay, in other example you already saw this is integrated with our external inventory file. Later we will develop the code and we're going to see, we're going to remove this variable from the here to our explicit inventory file. Okay, so at this moment we're going to continue with this connection. Because of connection type we have to declare our variable Ansible network. Okay, now what is the task? We have configuration the host name, and we have to use the iOS config module. This is a module which is responsible to bring you up into your config mode. Then whenever this code is running, whenever the configuration change modified, is supposed to go into the save. They're going to do the write memory. Now next, what change we are doing? We are change the my host name. This is the command followed by the network automation. This inventory. So inventory is, this is RX. They're going to capture R1, R2, R3. Okay, this is the, and we will run this small one. Check that. Clear till here, guys? Should I test now?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so let's test it. We have Ansible Playbook, and then my code deployment, and for my credentials I'm using admin password. So let's see, play is working fine. There must be credential pass, and there should, if any syntax error we have. So let's, and there is no credentials, and
Next time, check with the.
otherwise what we will do, we will remove the external this, and we will check how, why it's what is the error they are telling. Type time error, post name, there's a space they are taking. Okay, let me make it more simple. For I'm not going to use anything over here. Post name with the inventory file. Okay, let's check this, then we will go for the next level. It's taking host name R1, R2, R3. Not here, they are, why they are connecting with the IP only, why they are not taking. We have RX inventory, and check that inventory. Let's inventory post R1, R2, R3, RX. Suppose for this one, I post. I have given this inventory. Fine. Let's check. Then we will debug our. Earlier it was not. There is no authentication, no authentication error. The error is coming for connection error. Timeout commands. Ansible failed to. Okay, maybe I think this is the due to the credential issue. Let's see Ansible facts. Python false command out trigger. So we have to pass this credential with the.
Try with Ashu, or like username
Oh
and
no,
username.
no, we have to pass with the enable password. Let me see. They are facing with. They are changing the host
I
name,
think
man.
I think Ashu, we need
No, they changed the
like
host name. Can you see this is the host name? They changed the earlier the host name. But why is it giving other error also? Discover facts. Wait, the old name they want. I want to this name, but why they took like this? So double quotes. Should we write the code accordingly at ginger temp? Why this time they are not changing the host name back to what is the host? They changed this. Let me check. This device is accessible using host name or not. R1, R2, R3. Okay. So SSH admin at the rate R1. Okay, they are able to access. That's okay. And they are going into privilege mode. There's no issue. We can do the content. That's now they change the host name. Alright. What error they are giving? The fatal R2 and single fact discover false. Timeout. Timeout at 30. Timeout setting option. Vector. Let me try once. Taking. Okay, they logged in into the device. Admin. They are tail one. Changed failed cover inter Either facts, there is a spelling mistake I have done. Either facts, cross facts, right? False, right? Apply this. They change the host name. Let me check manually it's working or not. That's important. Config terminal, and then you do host name R1. What's wrong there? Then why they are not changing through the host name different name like RX do right? Okay. Now try for only try for R1. Have inventory file for R1. R1 cat ansible and so we have R1. Let's try for only one
Or
host.
else we can keep this RX at top. So might be it's sequentially it's a checking. So first it's considering
Which one
router
on top?
this
No, it's
RX.
not like that. Means if you see the inventory, wherever the inventory, here the very less inventory in our. Okay, then that's not going to help us. Let me check this whether it's an inventory file hostname because the same code had changed that. What's wrong with this? Why it's not changed? So break it down on a small piece and then we will try. Let's see working or not. Then we'll try to check that. They are doing now for router R1 a host name they took. The changes happened. Let's check for the R1. So you should understand. See, they changed the R1. Okay. Now my code is this working fine for this. Okay. If I'm going to add here, okay. So what we have to do automation here to keep like this. Okay. Then we try. So I'm trying for only one. This is so you have to break your code if it's not working. Break out down for one, test it completely. Then you go for try for 2, 3. This is the right way to do this. Okay. So I'm going to do this deployment test admin for one fast. Yes, is the checking. Now it's doing so our syntax development. See there, this is let's do for all RX. Now I'm going to change this as a RX. Okay, this is supposed to work. So what we have changes within the double quote, so we have to take inside that if you want to. This is the trick for this test. Okay, so do you understand these two tests, guys?
Yes.
Okay, so this if it's not working, don't get panic. Sometime your code is okay and the according to the output what's they given the syntax error, so timeout they are not able to change, so you have to check your Jinja templates in syntax where to place the variable. Okay, so break it down in the single bits and bytes. like one device, test it, then go for the entire inventory. So right now I'm going for RX, I'm going for the all three inventory. So this supposed to be faster. So they change for R1, some challenge for R2. I can, they may be a credential issue or something. There is a credential issue.
Might be, or first you also try to SSH the R2 and R3, then try, because R1 first we try to SSH, then it start working. So might be we should just SSH R2 and R3, then try.
On timeout, 30 troubleshooting. Let's do that.
So first just check, might be they have changed, because last time it also they done, they gave the error, but they have changed. So check the R2 and R3 whether they have changed or not. Go to this
Wait,
browser.
let me. No, they did not change that. I think this syntax. Why they are not changing here? I suppose I want RX. This syntax having some issue. X Y to keep host name this. Do right. This is for R2. Go for R3. I just R3 admin, all three working with the admin. I think this syntax, the host name what I gave, this is not proper. One which is not allowing to change this. Okay, I have just right. Okay, let me come out with this. Now let's try work, and this should be green for R1, remaining for R2, R3 should work as we expected. Okay, it's changing for all three. Okay, great. I think the earlier syntax what it was there, that's the problem. Okay, guys, are you guys understand what is the
Yes.
issue? The syntax what earlier they accepted and my system hang out. So that was the issue. That one, this is not a right syntax what automation has. So for automation, you have to change the proper host name. You have to see that there is a meaningful syntax supposed to be. Cows, they are not able to change from this syntax. They are thinking as per this testing. So you can see the so many things, weird stuff. Okay, guys. So this is the small deployment what we have done. So here in the deployment, we have only used the line command clear till here, guys.
Yes. And
Yes,
Ashmi, just stop recording, otherwise, because this time has
yes,
been crossed
right.
30 minutes.
Thank you.
Otherwise,
So I'm going to stop here and we're going to see next level of deployment that is called parent and line command. So bye bye. See you in the next upcoming classes.